6 straight months, my business was stuck at 10 to 15K months. And I was stuck. I did not know what to do. I did not know how to break this income ceiling. Yet somehow I was able to not only just break that income ceiling, but secure my business an 86K cash collected month. This allowed me to get my first watch. This allowed me to move into my dream apartment. And this allowed me to realize that I actually could achieve this, but it was only 4 logical, practical things I did within my business to make these changes. My name's Isaac, I'm 21 years old and I run a consulting firm where we help entrepreneurs and experts scale up their education companies. Let's say, for example, you're a trader or a property guy, or a financial advisor, some form of a successful entrepreneur, and you want to teach people what you do online, we help you scale. And some of our clients make 100K, 200K, 300K a month, but the crazy thing is about running these type of businesses, yes, they're profitable, yes, they're highly lucrative, but you can get stuck. And this leads me to the first change I made within my business to break past the income ceiling and hit the 86K mark. Number 1, you need to get out of your own way. See, the thing that people don't understand about business is, yes, you start off business with hard work. Hard work is a prerequisite for success. If you don't work hard, you're not gonna get anywhere. And you can work hard to the 10K mark. You can grind, you can just go all out 24/7 working. But beyond that 10K month level, it's no longer a game of hard work. And it's not just a game of smart work, it's a game of leverage. See, you need to understand you are building a business, not a high paying job. So if you don't build leverage in some way, you're literally going to die. Like, you're literally not going to be able to do anything beyond that income ceiling that you're at. And this all comes down to the concept of fulfillment fallacy. This is where you work super hard, you get your clients great results. You're then able to sign more clients. Maybe you get referrals, maybe people just hear about the work that you're doing. But then when you do sign these new clients, because you lack the systems in the back end, the team in the back end, everything comes crumbling down. You're not able to fulfill to the same level of service, or even if you are, you're just stuck in this rut of gaining clients and losing clients. And this is actually the biggest plague of agency owners, consulting firm owners, coaches, because you get loads of new clients and you get loads of cash in the door and you're super happy, but you don't know how to systemize the business on the back end. And this is why a lot of people will see there's this big trend going on in the info and education space where everyone's canceling, quitting, shutting down their 100K, 200K, 500K, $1 million a month businesses to become solo consultants. They shut down these massive businesses, and the reason why they shut them down is because they didn't learn a way to systemize their business, so they wanted to just do everything by themselves. But realistically, if you don't know how to systemize, if you don't build the right team, there's no world where you're able to get to $500,000, $1 million months. So the question is, you must build leverage. How? There are 3 ways that I'd suggest that you can build leverage within your business, starting off with, first and foremost, systemizing yourself. Everyone starts off when building leverage to build a team. They hire this person, that person, this person, and that person, right? And that's cool. You can hire a media buyer, a copywriter, someone to fulfill on the back end and do the systems, maybe even a closer or a setter. But you first need to systemize yourself. And this is key, this is critical. And when I say systemize myself, what do I mean? First and foremost, with your health. If your health is not dialed, you are finished, I swear to God. Because you will be working super hard, burn out, and get sick and then wonder why can I not stay at that consistent level of work? Why can I not stay at that consistent level of output? But then beyond systemizing yourself on the health side of things, you need to systemize yourself in terms of your day-to-days, and that comes with getting an executive assistant. This is a complete game changer. And the crazy thing is, it's something I only did recently that actually changed the game for me. I realized that I was the biggest bottleneck in my own business, because if I shut down, if I wasn't available, everything comes crashing down. Everything. There's no one for my clients to communicate with. There's no one for my team to communicate with. There's no one for any of my students to communicate with. It's a mess. But with my executive assistant, I finally had someone to keep me accountable. And that was the beauty in things. She's someone who's completely responsible for my day-to-day tasks and my day-to-day life. She's making sure I'm taking my supplements. She's making sure I do my morning run, go to the gym. She's ordering food for me. She's then also communicating with clients and sitting in every single client meeting. And this then allows the clients to have a touch point beyond myself. She's also managing the entire task management system. And so this means, yes, I'm holding people accountable, but she's holding people accountable to the highest degree. And because I framed her in my business the correct way, I didn't just say she's my assistant. No, I said she's someone who's even greater than myself, people actually listen to her. But then I'd say a deeper thing, which is super important, is business is a male-dominated game. I think that's a fact of the matter. But having a female eye on things is a complete game changer. I think females have really good eye on quality control and seeing things from a different perspective. So having that in my life is super important. The next way you want to systemize is obviously via team. And you know as well as I know, there's only so much you can do by yourself. Rome was not built by one individual, and in order to take over, you have to operate with a team of killers. Alex Hormozi said this one thing: would you rather have 50% of a mil or 100% of 100K? Obviously 50% of the mil, right? So in order to do that, you cannot be afraid or scared of spending money on a team, investing money into the best key players. And I noticed this in my business. When I was stuck, it was always because I was focused on the cheapest individual to hire, the most cost-efficient individual to hire. If I saw the best person, I would shy away because I said, my business is not there yet. But the crazy thing is, in order for your business to get to where you want it to get to, you need to hire the expensive people so that they can extract you and take you to that new level. And that's, for example, Blaz, my COO. He's an absolute murderer. And the thing is, the funny thing how I met Blaz is, I was in a coaching program where he was the ads coach. He's got 8 years in the game, 3-4 mil in Facebook ad spend, a G. And I started investing into him, paying him for ads coaching because I really wanted to become cracked at ads. So at this time, I've done maybe 2-3 months of coaching with him, and it's been incredible. And he's taught me so many insightful things. And I remember I was talking to him about my business. I was saying, yeah, this is going really well, but this is not going so well. I don't know what to do. I need someone who's competent, but at the same time, someone who's competent is usually more expensive, blah, blah, blah. And he said, to be honest, bro, I can do it. And at first I was like, there's no way Blaz would help me out. But the second he onboarded, everything changed. Everything changed because number one, I wasn't the only voice of reason in the company beyond the people that were already there. My clients had someone super, super competent to speak to. He was also managing everything on the scaling side of things, which was vital because scaling ads is something I'm gonna get into in a second. It's one of the number one key skills to actually scaling any sort of business because it builds you a money machine. You can put $1 in and get $10 out, and he killed it with that. And overall, it gave me someone to not only again keep me accountable, but someone to bounce ideas off. Should we use this compensation structure? Should we drop or hire this person, fire this person? And it allowed us to make difficult decisions together, which was beautiful. Finally, you need to systemize with software and AI. The funny thing is everyone says, oh, AI can take over your entire business. And if I'm being honest, and I think this is a controversial take, I don't think AI is at the level where it can take over your entire business. Everyone tries to say, use this tool, this tool, this tool, and this tool, but using a billion different AI tools, it probably is gonna slow you down more than it's gonna speed you up. However, becoming a master of one, which we all know, either you want to use Claude or GPT, that is your real leverage. And the thing is, becoming a master of GPT is not in a case of just using it so much. It's more in a case of learning how to prompt it in the correct way to give it the best and highest level results. Me and my copywriter are able to write all of our client and company ads with GPT to a super high level in the space of 2-3 hours, simply because we're able to prompt it the right way and feed it the right information. So using this is paramount. But on top of that, having super strong back-end systems is really important to actually scale your business and get out of the back-end fulfillment. Whether this is just having super strong onboarding processes, whether this is having fulfillment on the back end, whether this is having a bot that is trained based on your information sources and your knowledge to speak to your clients, it doesn't matter. But having software and AI in the back end is super, super, super important. The second realization you need to make and change you need to make in your business is to keep acquisition on. You need to understand you are potentially one client away from changing your life. One client, just one. And I'll tell you this story. It was June last year. I was grinding, back against the wall. I was in the office every single day, and I literally bought a 2,000 lead list to do outreach. So I was going through this outreach list to sign new coaching clients, sign new coaches onto my consulting firm. And I remember I stumbled across one. This guy called Emmanuel, and he was an FCA regulated financial advisor who had a great brand, but was selling a £50 a month community, making £2,000 a month total. I see him, I snipe him, I book a consultation call with him just to basically tell him he's cooked, and I ended up closing him. Off the back of closing him, in our first month with him, we took him from 2K a month to 100K a month. The next month, we were able to do 200K a month, and then we maintained, and we've never had a month below that 100K a month level since. He is now my biggest client to date, and has allowed me to hit that record month for myself. From him alone in single months, he has paid me in commissions 30K. And so if I had stopped acquisition and said, I need to get better at fulfillment, I need to help my current clients, I need to systemize on the back end first and not look to acquire new clients, I would have never seen him. I would have never found him. I would have never met him. I would have never closed him. And this is not me telling you to neglect your current clients. Please don't get me misconstrued. But what I'm saying is, if you are good at what you do, it is a complete skill issue not being able to have acquisition and fulfillment on at the same time. You need to always have multiple options and people available to take on board into your organization so that you can actually get yourself out of bad deals and fire people and let people go, let clients go. You can't be afraid of firing clients because if it's just not working, it's just not working. But there's some people where you know, okay, cool. If we actually focus more on them, they will scale. So find the yin and yang between this, but make sure you do not turn acquisition off. I have a friend, Kiri, who's also running a consulting and agency firm who's doing in the range between 200 to 300K a month. And I literally had a call with him last night and he said, I brought on 6 new clients last month from referrals. I added 80K in MRR to our business, yet I'm still grinding for our current clients. And it inspired me because it's like, he's doing both things. He's fulfilling to a really high level, but he's also acquiring because he knows acquisition, just one client could completely change your life and introduce you to another client or bring you a big commission check at the end of the month. So it's important to keep acquisition on. Number 3, learn the art of scaling ads. Now it's funny because in this info product space, this education company space where people are essentially selling courses, oftentimes you'll hear about the biggest launch in the world. Someone launches a new product on a personal brand that no one has ever sold to. So of course in the first month you're gonna do a crazy number. And I've seen people go from 0 to $500,000 in a single month, 0 to 200K in a single month. And you're thinking, wow, this is incredible. But then you ask 2 months later and all of a sudden, the revenue's crashed. Why? Because you need to understand that when you sell to someone's organic audience, you deplete the trust. Every single time you sell, you deplete the goodwill. And that goodwill is being built over many, many reels and YouTube videos and stories and events that this person's personal brand has produced. So if you don't have a way to sustain it, to pour water back into that cup, your business is gonna die. The coaching business is literally going to die. And this is where ads come into play. But most people know how to run follow ads, DM ads, comment ads. And if I'm being honest, these aren't real scalable funnels. There are only a few actual scalable funnels. Number 1, the webinar funnel that we specialize in. Number 2, low ticket. Number 3, video sales letter. And for sure, follower ads do work, everything works. But these have a very slow sales cycle. It's probably gonna take someone 2 to 4 weeks of being a follower of yours to convert. Whereas if you put someone on a webinar, they sit down for 2 hours and are nurtured by you on Zoom and you can ask them questions. End of that 2-hour period, they are ready to buy from cold traffic, which is incredible. And this has worked for countless of our clients, but it all comes down to knowing how to scale ads the correct way. So first and foremost, you need to understand that ads, it's not a technical game, it's not a Facebook ads manager game, it's a creative game. You need to be creating as many new ad creatives, so as many new videos or images or carousels or whatever it is you're running as an ad as possible. And we're not just talking about random ads, we're talking about high quality creatives on a weekly basis. This needs to be your process. You need to be tweaking the messaging on a consistent basis. You need to be putting new things onto your Facebook manager and launching new ads every single week. Different formats, different editing styles, different angles, different messaging, different hooks. Because if you're doing this, you're literally battling Facebook head on and your cost per lead is going to consistently go down or stay at the same level at the bare minimum. For our clients, for example, we schedule in 2 videography shoots every single month, as well as them filming dry ads every other week, where they're filming ads on their iPhone. So we're successfully attacking multiple different formats, multiple different angles, multiple different messages, multiple different hooks. So this means Facebook literally cannot beat us. So the art of creating as many creatives as possible that are high quality is good, but to make sure your ads actually perform, me and you both know the most important thing is the hook. And the hook needs to be exponentially scroll stopping. You need to focus on slapping the person in the face with the hook. It needs to be something that when they actually look at it, they're like, okay, cool, this is something that's worth watching. As well, you need to make sure you have a good media buyer. I mean, Blaz handles everything in terms of the ad side of things, so I don't need to worry about that. But someone who actually knows how to scale campaigns the correct way. These, for me, are the key things you need to be doing on the ad side of things. And this is how you actually build a money printer for your clients where you can predictably scale. Because there's reasons why our clients' businesses haven't come up and then crashed back down, because we actually have an ability to produce traffic and produce conversions. The final key change I made within my business, number 4, become ridiculously good at one thing. Look, when you run an agency, you'll understand when I say you have to know everything. You have to know how to build a good offer. You have to know how to garner some traffic, whether it's from cold email, organic content, ads, TikTok, you name it. You then have to learn how to convert that traffic in some way, shape or form. from XYZ funnel, appointment setting, webinars, you name it. You have to learn about sales, you have to learn about fulfillment, back-end systems. But once you learn everything to a decent degree, where you're not an idiot, you then need to specialize on a specific mechanism or specialize on a specific aspect of things. Again, my friend Kiri, he runs a thing called Back-End Profits. And he specializes on helping people already doing that 50K, 100K a month mark in their coaching businesses to double that and triple that with back-end upsells. So he improves the customer fulfillment for his clients and helps them upsell their students to higher ticket product. This is super niche. He's narrowed down and specialized in one thing. I have a friend who runs a sales agency and his whole thing is just sales. He places setters, closers, manages the sales side of things for 7-figure organizations. And that is his thing, sales. I have some people who specialize in funnels, specifically just building the funnel, building the best funnels in the world. And so what did we do? We ended up specializing in marketing, specifically webinars, because we realized that was the most successful conversion mechanism for our clients. So you need to, once you go through that first beginner stage of just learning all these different skills and getting competent at them, you then need to learn, okay, cool, what am I gonna specialize in? What am I gonna bet my chips on? And then go all in on that. Because think about it, how can someone logically give you a referral if you do everything? They go to their friend, hey, I work with this guy, he does everything. It's like, oh, he does everything, but then what if I don't need everything? You're automatically cut out. But the reason why, for example, Kiri gets a lot of referrals, we get a lot of referrals is because we focus on one thing. And number 5, running the right funnel. This leads me down to selling the right way and using webinars. And the funny thing is, whether you're an agency owner / consulting firm who wants to get more clients, or you're a coach who wants to grow their coaching business, webinars are vital for both. All you have to do is look at the biggest people in the industry and you'll know how vital one-to-many selling is. Selling to many people at once. Look at Alex Hormozi. He sold $100 million in a single day via the webinar. Look at Iman Gadzhi. Every year he runs multiple campaigns via webinar. Look at Shelby Sapp. She's currently doing 5 mil a year via webinar. Look at Russell Brunson. He's killing it via webinars. Look at TJR, he does webinars. Look at Brett Scales, he did a movie webinar. Look at Musa, he does webinars. Everyone does these live workshops, live classes, webinars at the highest level, because this is the best and most leveraged way to sell. Think about how many sales calls you have to take versus just selling one to many. But then the crazy thing is, you can still push webinar traffic to a sales call, but that sales call is exponentially more nurtured because they've sat on Zoom for 2 hours with you. They've listened to your story, they've listened to your mechanism, they've gained value. And by the law of reciprocity, they will want to give back by committing to some sort of buying action, whether that be buying on a webinar itself, booking in a call, you name it. I could go on and on and on about why you should be running webinars, but instead I'm gonna link a video down below titled Why Webinars, which gives you the 10 key reasons as to why you need to run webinars in 2026. That being said, those were the things I changed within my organization, within my business, to break past that 10, 15K a month jail cell and hit 86K cash collected in a single month. The goal for 2026, 200K months, 300K months, 400K months. We want to go to the top. And I am building a £10 million per year consulting firm. That being said, it has been Isaac. If you are a coach, expert entrepreneur who actually wants some help with scaling their business, look in the call down below. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care of yourself.